想仗剑走天涯，看一看世界的繁华。
Just to recap, so the Arduino light stick or lighty, it's a project that I got asked by a mate in the UK, Andy, to give him a hand with, and I thought I would build one. The parts were relatively cheap, so I thought, why not? My daughter does photography, a mate at work does photography, Rick, and I thought, well, why don't I make it, see how it turns out. I got all the parts. I had to wait 6 months for one of the components to become available. But after I got the components, it was a matter of getting the sketch to work. The sketch I got from the original guy that wrote the sketch, Dirk. So I downloaded the sketch and put the sketch on the Mega board, and then it came time to design the box. I got the box from Fusion 360, a fellow by the name of Kevin Kennedy. I modified it to suit my needs. Like anything you design in Fusion and you 3D print, usually takes a couple of goes. Usually the first time you print it out, you have a look at it and you see about making some improvements. So the first one I did, I made some improvements. The second one I made some further improvements, and we've now got the third one. So this is the one that's actually going to Andy. We're just waiting on another board, so I'll get all that put together and send that off to him. Here's the Mega card, so that's $16 from Banggood. Here is the SD card, so it is $4. Here is the OLED screen, which is $4. Here is the micro USB socket, they're $2.61, and the 5-way directional or joystick, which is $4. So that's all the parts you need from Banggood. So here's the circuitry for it, pretty straightforward. The 5 volts comes into your micro USB, it powers up your board, and it powers up all your peripheral devices. And the power for the joystick comes from the board itself. So basically it's one wire from the LED strip onto the D6 pin. The OLED screen is, so on the OLED screen it's the SDA and the SCA is on pins 20, 21. The buttons up is 22, down is 23, left is 24, right is 25, enter is 26. And your card reader, you've got your MISO is connected to 50, your MOSI is connected to 51, your CS is connected to 52, and your SCK is connected to 53. Now let's look at the Arduino sketch. So your file menu, so you got your file select, your brightness, your initial delay, as I said, which gives you time to actually press the button, and then for the lights to start. The frame delay, don't know what that does. The repeat times, so you can play the same thing over again if you want multiples, and then there's a delay in the repeat there, so if you want a delay between the repeats, and that's what you can do. So basically you're going to need a couple of libraries with this. You need the Adafruit NeoPixel library, the SD card library, you need the serial port interface library, the wiring library, the Adafruit GFX library, and the Adafruit SSD1306 library. Now they're all the libraries that you need. So you've got the width and the height, you can change that if you want, but I would suggest you don't. There's some information here about what pins are connected to what. So here's what the menu actually does. So your frame delay, default for the frame delay, so it goes up to 15. You've got the menu item, which you can't adjust, you can just flick through your menu. Your initial delay, your repeat times, and then your repeat delay update mode, which keeps track of the update modes, your repeat times and your brightness. So that comes up on the screen. Dirk, which is the guy that did all the writing for the sketch and the version. Now if you wanted to change that, you could put your name in there, you could put something else in there. I've done that on one of my sketches, just to personalise it, and then the initialise, so it leaves a line, initialises, and then asks you to wait. So it's a matter of going into once you've got this sketch set up the way you want it, going into your tools, going into your board, and then selecting the right board. We're using the Mega 2560, and then of course connecting your port. Now I haven't got anything connected to this at the moment, so there's nothing there. One of the things you do need to be aware of with this board is that you will need some different drivers with it. One of the issues I had trying to upload the sketch was I needed additional drivers for that mega board. You need the CH340 driver. So basically you just find that on the net, download it, and away you go. The last thing to talk about is the files. They run on a 24-bit bitmap file, which is fairly old. So you can go into your image. Basically what you need to do is turn it around and save it as a 24-bit bitmap file. So the last section here is how to format your bitmap files. So let's say we had a file. Let's say we had this file here. To get that file in the right orientation, we would need to have that set up like that. I'll just zoom in on that. And the reason it's so small is because I've actually saved the original picture, that picture, I've saved it as a 24-bit bitmap file. So that's it for the Pixelstick. I hope you like the video. Feel free to leave a comment, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and there'll be links in the video below in regards to the parts, and if you want the file, just put a comment in there. I'll put a link to the Dropbox if anyone's interested. As you can see, the parts are probably, I don't know, what were they, probably $20 or $30. The bitmap filing, pretty easy. If you go on the Pixelstick website, you'll actually see you can download a whole lot of images, but you can download bitmap images, whatever you want.